How can you discover your ancestors in Canada? Now, if you're British, you will be aware of Canada through population movement to Canada, through the military, and through Britain having a keen interest in the country. The head of state is still Queen Elizabeth II. Canada is the second largest country in the world by total area. It has the longest binational border in the world with the United States of America. And it's that country that's had the most influence on Canada in more recent years on its development. The British and the French have had a heavy influence as well. Certainly from the 16th century, both the British and the French were involved and set up colonies. But by the 19th century, Britain was in control of much of Canada. So let's look at some of the key record sets briefly and how you can trace your Canadian ancestors. Canada, as we know it today, is formed of 10 provinces and 3 territories. And it's the governments of these provinces and territories that have formed the family history records that we are interested in. There are parish registers, there are birth, marriage and death records, BMD, also known as vital statistics, and land records, just like Britain. If we start with BMD, birth, marriage and death records, these tend to start in the late 18th century. And if you read my blog for 2018, the address is coming up at the end of this video, you'll be able to look at which province, which territory has records from which date. Parish registers, for those that have survived, are generally held by archives or may even still be in churches or church archives. Those that are in archives are generally copies, are generally indexes of the parish registers on microfilm. So you will need to access the archive for the relevant records. Canada Library and Archives has a list of those archives and where to go for them. So again, that link is coming up for you now in this video. The Canadian census is very much like the United Kingdom census. It runs from 1851, 61, 71, 81, 91, 1901, 1906 and 1911, and those are available for you to view. Population records before 1851 have rarely survived, but they're worth searching out. And again, the Library Service for Canada will have a list of these documents and where to find them. Now, you may be interested in immigration records because most people will have travelled from Britain, France, Europe to Canada, and of course from the United States of America to Canada as well. There's very few comprehensive records before 1865. After 1865, then there are a number of record sets that are worth searching out. And again, my blog will have full details of those. So the address for that blog is coming up now. Do have a look at that. Do have a look at the other blogs I've written. For example, recently I've talked about Australian and New Zealand records as well. And don't forget to check out my course, particularly if you're a beginner. So an introduction to family history research is 7 modules. It will give you everything you need to know to start your family history. And you can study that at any time on any computer, anywhere in the world. So have a look at that at some point and consider purchasing that. Thank you for your time. I hope you've enjoyed this video and look out for more coming soon. Thank you.